Hello everyone, and welcome to my Gen Z childhood trauma iceberg video. I chose to make an iceberg video on this topic because for one, I was too lazy to find an original topic to do an iceberg video on. So I decided to make an iceberg video on a topic that about 1,000 other YouTubers have already done. But I really don't want this video to just be a copy and paste of all those other videos. Of course, I'll have my own commentary for each entry on this list, and my own experiences with each one of these entries. My second reason for choosing this topic for an iceberg video is because as a member of the Gen Z generation, I'm very familiar with many of the entries on this list, and I figured it'd be fun to make this video on a topic that I have a real personal connection with. I wanted to make an iceberg looking at UFO encounters, for instance, and obviously while that is an interesting topic, and a topic that I might make a video on in the future, I've never been abducted by any UFOs, so I don't really have much of a personal connection there. But anyway, let's get into the list. And by the way, if you're not familiar with iceberg videos, I'll be starting off with the entries at the top of the iceberg, and these entries at the top of the iceberg are the most well known, and as we go down the iceberg and look underneath the surface, right as we go down from the tippity top, we'll begin to see more niche entries that more and more people are less familiar with. William Afton is the main antagonist of the FNAF series. He is more commonly referred to as Purple Guy because he is often represented as a purple guy throughout the series, literally just a purple figure with a blot of yellow to represent his badge. This entry refers to the fact that William Afton is dead, and as far as I know about FNAF, his ghost torments the player throughout the series. FNAF jump scares. This one is pretty self-explanatory. FNAF jump scares refers to the jump scares that the FNAF games are so well known for. Although many people may deride the series as jump scares as not being particularly scary and or providing a cheap thrill, I recall being so scared of them I would go and hide in the comments section of various YouTubers like Markiplier or DashEXP when I was younger. Agamemnon counterpart. Agamemnon counterpart refers to a video of a strange looking cartoon and composed of these horrible looking images that you're looking at on the screen and this piercingly terrible audio in the background to boot. Most people were very confused upon seeing this video for the first time, and as a result some people started to come up with some absurd theories as to who made this video and why exactly they did so. Some of the theories that people came up with are arguably more disturbing than the video itself, and I don't want to really touch upon them because I don't want this video to be age restricted or something like that. Giga Bowser refers to the variant of Bowser that appears in the game Super Smash Bros. Melee. As opposed to the regular variant of Bowser, this version appears to be more menacing and scary looking. Overall, more realistic and less cartoonish than the usual Bowser that we're used to seeing. I can see how a kid could find his big teeth and overall design to be really scary to look at when facing off against him. FNAF 4. FNAF 4, this entry just refers to the fourth entry of the FNAF series that came out in July of 2015. I don't really understand why FNAF 4 is singled out on this list, and other entries in the FNAF series are not included here. It literally just says FNAF 4 on the iceberg list. The only reason I can think of is the fact that FNAF 4 was a pretty big departure from the other entries in the series at the time, and it is the first game that takes place in the player's house, which may make it scarier for kids, especially as it's a place that is more local to them. Everyone has a house, of course, instead of some pizza restaurant. I played this game for a bit when it came out, but I couldn't make it past night 3, personally. Sabrina from Pokemon. I honestly personally never really watched Pokemon growing up, so I had to do some research on this entry, or more research on this entry than the other entries. Sabrina is a character from the Pokemon animated series and is a gym leader that the main character Ash has to face. Some of her character traits include her having the power to read minds, having a split personality, and having this creepy doll that she carries around with her wherever she goes. Looking at some of the clips she appears in, I personally don't find her too creepy, but that's me as an adult saying that. I can totally understand how a kid would definitely be terrified of the doll and the magical powers that it has. Minecraft mobs. Some Minecraft mobs are scary, I guess. When I first saw this entry on the list, I really did not get it because I don't really think any of the Minecraft mobs are scary. But then again, this is me as an adult saying this. At first glance, yeah, it's hard to find anything from Minecraft to be particularly scary. But thinking about it again and doing a little reflecting, the Endermen are definitely quite creepy, and the zombies can also be creepy, especially if you don't see any zombies around you and they just come out of nowhere. And Endermen are obviously these pitch black, lanky demon things that come from another world, so those are also pretty scary. And they're also based on the Slender Man, which is a whole thing in itself. It's also pretty terrifying when a creeper comes out of nowhere and it blows you up right before you have any time to react. I think over time, Minecraft has gotten a little more scary with the addition of new mobs, like the Warden, which just comes out of nowhere and just scares the heck out of you, and those flying manta rays that are also super annoying.
Oh, we're going to battle! This is an epic gamer battle!
Creepypasta. This entry refers to the creepypasta genre in general. If you don't know, creepypasta refers to the genre of internet horror stories that were especially popular in the late 2000s and the early 2010s. Many of the most popular creepypastas include the likes of Jeff the Killer, which is about, in a nutshell, a kid that gets his face burnt off and decides to unleash his pent-up anger by becoming a serial killer. And Slenderman, which is a guy that's scary and he kidnaps kids and kills them. Well, he's not a guy, he's more like a creature. But anyway, a lot of creepypastas are very famous and traumatized and scared tons of kids during that time. Such as myself. I remember a creepypasta that really scared me was the creepypasta called Antron, which is about a robot that kidnaps kids as well. I don't know why so many creepypastas revolve around things that kidnap kids. But anyway, creepypastas were a very famous genre, and they still are. Plenty of creepypastas are still written to this day, and quite a few have made a really big cultural mark, such as Slenderman, considering the fact that literal movies have been made about Slenderman. But anyway, on to the next on the list.
Come on! Wait a minute! Oh, alright, I got it.
Luigi's Mansion Beta Game Over. The Luigi's Mansion Beta Game Over entry refers to the beta game over screen for the game Luigi's Mansion. If you don't know what a beta version of a game is, this refers to a version of the game that is still in testing and therefore isn't released to the general public as the final product. But anyway, this image wasn't ultimately used in the game's official release. The reason why this image is on the list is because it's pretty creepy looking and just strange to look at Luigi like this. However, I've read that this wasn't actually the beta image of the Game Over scene, and instead was just a promotional image used by Nintendo at an event called Space World in the year 2000. So technically this is pretty much a misnomer, as this isn't the Game Over screen, but I suppose it was just remembered as the beta Game Over scene when it actually wasn't. But anyway, it is a scary looking image, and Luigi looks very odd. Vulgar Mario sprite animations. This entry refers to various Mario sprite animations that are popular from the mid to late 2000s-ish. Many of these animations are frankly very vulgar, as the name implies, and feature many adult themes like sex and abject violence. For instance, one video that comes to mind for me that fits into this category is the YouTube video M is Bad, which is really rather odd, and I remember watching that video when I was like 10 years old. Yeah, my parents really shouldn't have let me use the computer without their guidance. But another example would be the Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom series, which depicts a big gory battle between the Koopas and the Toads. These videos were often strange and some were quite disturbing, and the fact that they used characters from games from a family-friendly franchise probably made it so little kids would just click on the video expecting some run-of-the-mill Mario fan animation until they were greeted by all sorts of the bad stuff that I mentioned previously.
Oh no! Mario! What? Mamma mia! No!
Haunted Gaming, Muthahar. Haunted Gaming refers to a series that the popular commentary YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers made. Real name Muthahar, made on his YouTube channel. The channel Some Ordinary Gamers today is primarily known for its commentary content, but throughout the early and mid-2010s, he made the series in which he would narrate creepypastas while playing various random video games. I remember I used to watch the series quite a bit when I was younger, and it's how I was introduced to a lot of creepypastas like Jeff the Killer, Slenderman, and so on. I think it's kind of lame he doesn't really do these anymore, but that's just me. Additionally, I imagine a lot of Gen Zers grew up with this series, or at least some did, and it gave them a lot of nightmares. Scary car commercial. This entry refers to a commercial that went viral. It shows a car traveling through a scenic route, only for a zombie to come out of nowhere and scare the viewer. The original video was posted in 2005, which is pretty interesting as it is a testament to how old this video is, being posted in the same year that YouTube was created. Funnily enough, this commercial is actually an advertisement for a German coffee company called Kphoria. I've never seen or tried it, so if I have any German viewers watching this, please let me know what you think about this particular coffee and their ads. Vore animations. This is a really weird one. I mean, we've been through some weird ones already, but this particular entry refers to the content made by a particular content creator named Kphoria. His videos involve famous cartoon and video game characters engaging in vore. If you don't know what vore is, it's a particular fetish that involves seeing someone eat another person whole. At least that's what I've gathered from my extensive research on vore. I imagine some kids probably stumbled on his content while browsing YouTube and just, were exposed to this. Funnily enough, this guy is still active on YouTube, but anyway, on to the next one. Inflation scenes. I imagine this refers to inflation scenes in media directed to children. Inflation refers to when a character... Spanish MS Paint, Spongebob parodies. This entry refers to scary or weird or occasionally funny animations of SpongeBob characters made in the Microsoft Paint program. After watching a few of these, I could definitely understand why they're on this list. They're just often very strange and sometimes kind of hard to look at because of how badly animated they are, considering they're animated in MS Paint. But anyway, I imagine a lot of kids ended up watching these while looking up free SpongeBob episodes on YouTube or something like that, and then they ended up getting traumatized for life. So yeah, let me know if you had any experiences with this particular entry. Invader Zim, Dark Harvest. This entry refers to the episode of Invader Zim called Dark Harvest, in which Zim harvests the organs of his fellow classmates. Considering the weird subject matter and the scenes we see of Zim sucking up intestines and other innards and occasionally throwing them back up, there's no wondering why this is on the list. Personally, I didn't grow up watching Invader Zim though, so I never was traumatized by this particular episode. but let me know if you did catch this episode while growing up. Death. Scar's death refers to the, spoiler alert, death of the main villain Scar from the movie The Lion King. In the film, he is killed by a pack of hyenas that corner him. We don't really see what happens, as obviously it's a kid's film and we wouldn't see the graphic death of a character. Even so, as an adult watching, it is a little scary to see them corner him and prepare to kill him, so it's easy to see how this would scare a child in my opinion. Like 9 years old and have me play it, so yeah. Let me know if you guys were traumatized by this particular entry too.
Indent that shit through. What's up?
Sailor Moon villains. This entry refers to the many villains that we see in the anime Sailor Moon. To be honest, I've been checking them out. They really don't look too scary to me. I mean, they're kind of menacing, but they don't seem that bad. Then again, I never watched this show as a kid, so let me know if you personally were ever scared of these guys. Weegee. Weegee is a version of Luigi that is based on an avatar of Luigi that is found in the educational Mario game. Mario is missing from the early 90s, at least that's according to Know Your Meme. This image of Weegee didn't become popular as a meme until around 2007. And yeah, the scary thing about Weegee is that he just shows up in the background of a lot of photos, and he just makes photos look creepy just by his presence. And he shows up in a lot of YTP videos, as you can see here.
Pokemon? That's not a Pokemon. That's a gay Luigi. Now go away.
Hey, Mama, this guy had a
Pokemon? I know. What do you think we should name it?
How about...
Why don't you two go climb it? Spaghetti! Rope. I'm sure it goes...
Missing number. This entry in the Iceberg refers to a glitch that appears in Pokemon games Pokemon Red and Blue as well as Pokemon Yellow. This glitch is activated by following a few unorthodox steps upon which the player is confronted with the missing number entity. A lot of players actually wanted to trigger this glitch because upon activating the glitch and being greeted to the subsequent fight scene, the player's inventory goes up dramatically from 6 to 128. So as a result, this glitch was covered pretty extensively in video game guides and strategy books that were really popular in the 90s before there was Let's Players and things like that. The reason this is on the list is because although triggering the glitch gives a player the benefit of a much larger inventory, the glitched out appearance of the character is a pretty creepy sight to behold. SpongeBob close-ups. This entry refers to the various close-up shots that we see throughout the SpongeBob series. If you've ever seen SpongeBob, you know what I'm talking about. Occasionally, there are very detailed close-up shots that can often be gross or scary looking, and these close-ups are usually pretty unexpected, so they can kind of come off as similar to jump scares. Even as a kid though, I never really found these disturbing or strange, and I always found them to be more humorous than anything else, which is what I believe to be their intended effect, but I can see how they can be really scary as well, especially if you're not expecting them in a kid's show. In conclusion, that was the first part of the Gen Z childhood trauma iceberg. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you stick around for the next parts of the series as I go through the rest of the iceberg. Again, please let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments section below. As this is my first video, I'd definitely love to see plenty of constructive criticism, or perhaps less than constructive criticism if you feel like throwing some hate comments my way. Although I wouldn't like to see that, it's within your right to do so. But anyway, I definitely love to hear what you guys think, and I love to interact with the comments too. Thank you.